Jerry and Shannon.
And not our neighborhood safer.
Weekdays at 10 a.m. on Kfi.
Don't you worry, baby. No, this kind of change. I'm a dirty man.
And this is Kfi Am 640. Bill Handel here on a Thursday morning, June the 17th. Coming up in 2 days, June 10th. And it's going to be a national holiday, probably coming up next year, I assume. And I'll talk more about that up at, when am I going to do that? 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
Yeah, there's a world to that. There really is. And I want to dive into that because it's far more, far deeper than just recognizing the end of slavery, which is obviously very important in the history of the United States, but I want to dive into that a little bit because it's far more political than anything else, especially among certain members of society, not African American, but on, well, the far right, and I'll explain that coming up. Now, we've been saying, and you've been saying, that working from home has changed us completely. And so you have the sociologists, psychologists, experts in employment diving into that subject, and we are now getting some information. It's been a year where those of us who work, and, well, either we're working at home or we're not working at all, we have the restaurant folks, and our personal lives have changed, certainly our work lives have changed, work hours have changed. We're learning to manage, or we did manage our own tasks without the oversight that used to happen when we went into the office. I've been working in solitude in many cases, and here's what employees are saying. We had more control, especially if there's nobody there giving us oversight. We want to keep that. We want to give up control. I used to work the hours that I wanted as long as I got my job done, especially if you had work to do and you're not dealing with clients, etc. Just work sitting at a computer and producing whatever it is you produce. And so the hours were my hours. And all of a sudden we're going to go back to, no, the hours are their hours. 9 to 5. And we're saying, wait a minute. I don't think so. It worked just fine when I was at home and I could work the hours that I wanted, more time with my kids, didn't have to commute. Well, it's a real challenge for managers. And so here is what the experts are saying about, for example, bosses. Consider looking at every single employee, even though those have been managed for years, as a brand new employee, because it really is a different person who's sitting in front of you. Don't assume that the employees can or can't do based on what they did before the pandemic. They could acquire new skills. They may be too married to a new work schedule that they control. So you really want to look at that, assuming that you're a manager, or even an employee, that it's a brand new person. Employees have, well, they've acquired a taste for independence in many cases. And that's what happens here. I mean, I tend to talk to management here about when people are coming back, when they're not, working at home, and their management here is changing, recognizing that you need to come together for meetings, etc., but that's it. You don't have to be here 9 to 5. People appreciate the autonomy they've gotten working at home. And that is absolutely critical. Look at the flexibility that working from home brings. And a lot of people aren't giving that up. Now, we're not talking necessarily about more money. We're talking about their work environment. I've often said, as an employer, you give someone a raise and they're fine. And that wears off very quickly. All right, more money, thank you very much. I asked for a raise, I got a raise. And even though there's more money, unless your salary is tripled, the dissatisfaction still stays there. Why? Because the work environment hasn't changed, the validation of the employee hasn't changed, and it is hard to validate when you're not there. I mean, one-on-ones, looking directly at an employee and talking about work environment, how satisfied you are, etc. I mean, that is something you really have to do face-to-face. Well, during the pandemic, that was all gone. And so employers have to look and recognize that it's a completely different animal. Well, look what happened here on the air. Most of us, in fact, a great many of us broadcast from home. I mean, that would have been impossible to do prior to the pandemic. And now here I am back at the studio. I've been here for a long time, but when I was able to come back at the studio, it's a very different place. It's a very different feeling. For me and for others, it's positive. Because I'm sitting in front of my old mic, but I've been in front of this mic and in this chair, in this place for a very, very long time. Matter of fact, July, it'll be 28 years. Good God, is that true? Oh my goodness. I wouldn't use the phrase, oh my goodness. I can't believe I just said that. Oh my goodness, did I actually say that? Wow, I'm humiliated. I apologize profusely, for sure. Coming up, Dr. Jim Keeney, co-director of ER Hospital at Mission Hospital, Mission Hospital in Mission Viejo, is joining us. I'm going to talk about aspects of the virus and the new Delta variant and what's going to happen. We'll do that after talking to Layla Mohammed on and in the KFI newsroom.
Detectives with the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department say they're looking into the drowning of a 2-year-old girl in Chino Hills. Early Sunday morning, the parents say they found their daughter unresponsive in the pool at their home and rushed the girl to the hospital. Doctors notified the Sheriff's Department, and when investigators arrived at the home, they say they noticed an illegal marijuana grow operation and unregistered guns. No arrests were made, and the case will be given to the DA's office. The LA City Council has snuffed out the sale of flavored tobacco.
The ban on flavored tobacco and menthol cigarettes took more than a year to craft.
But on this issue, we're actually behind.
Councilman Mitch O'Farrell says such bans already exist in more than 100 cities and counties in California. The LA ban comes with an exemption for hookah lounges.
The small mom-and-pop businesses who also require a portion of that retail activity to occur on premise.
Councilwoman Monica Rodriguez proposed that amendment. Now it's up to the city attorney to craft an ordinance before final approval from the council. Chris Ancarlo, KFI News.
A new report claims some OC jail facilities need better fencing, tighter contraband controls, and stronger barriers to protect staff from the public. OC Sheriff spokeswoman Carrie Braun says many of the concerns listed in the OC grand jury report were already being considered.
If the department had unlimited funding, then we would do all of those things right away. Unfortunately, the COVID-19 pandemic slowed down construction considerably.
The report also called for immediate COVID-19 testing for all jail staff. However, the report found that overall OC jail facilities were in compliance with state and federal guidelines. A study by UCLA shows more Latinas than any other demographic group have dropped out of the workforce during the pandemic. That report by the UCLA Latino Policy and Politics Initiative says that between March of 2020 and March of this year, 2.7% of Latino workers left the workforce compared to 1.7% of white women. It says one reason was that Latinas are disproportionately employed in leisure, hospitality, and other industries that have been closed because of the pandemic. Internet outages have affected financial institutions, airlines, and other companies around the world overnight. People in Australia say they've had problems trying to do some banking, book flights, use postal services. Australia's central bank was also affected, as was the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. Most of the outages lasted for about an hour or so. Let's head to a crash on the 101.
It's in Sherman Oaks on the 101 North. Before you get to the 405, the right lane is blocked with a two-car collision. One of those cars on its side in that right lane, apparently, and an hysterical male is trying to upright that vehicle, so use extra caution going through. KFI in the Sky is sponsored by injury attorney Superwoman, Jeff Bob, problem on the 60.
Boy, that might be a sign of the times. Yesterday morning, we had somebody that was beating on his car. Boy, sometimes. Yeah. All right, listen up now. This is on the eastbound 60 that I'm going to warn you about a really tough drive leaving East LA Interchange. Now, the problem is eastbound to 60 before Rosemead. That's before you get to the 605, a little before. Two right lanes are blocked. Only the two left are open. Somebody lost their vehicle to a fire. The fire department's still on scene. Now, the backup starts, well, leaving Garfield, actually, right around Petro Grande. Now, the heads-up move, if you head out this way, use the eastbound 10. 710 out, 605. It's wide open, truly, at the speed limit. And just going to warn you about a lot of problems south 5 coming out of Burbank. There was a problem at Los Feliz. There was a problem at Stadium Way. A problem at East LA interchange. Is really slow going coming down from the 134. More coming up. Injured in an accident. Visit Superwoman, superlawyer.com. Jeff Fogg, KFI in the sky.
Looking at Long Beach, 91 westbound at the 710, hearing about a crash in the two right lanes, and it is definitely plugging things up right around Cherry Avenue. KFI in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Robin Banks.
Why not make yours happen right at home with a quick outdoor makeover your family can enjoy for years to come? From renovating that old cracked driveway to adding an inviting new walkway or patio, you'd be amazed at how much a simple outdoor update can completely transform your outlook and your lifestyle. I'm Larry Green, CEO of System Pavers, America's #1 designer and installer of elegant outdoor living systems. Our Big Change sales event is going on now to help you save a bundle on your brand new view. Call 800-8004 right now to lock in exclusive low prices and special financing. From driveways, patios, synthetic turf, lighting, and more, our experts are ready to help you make a change today. Get started by calling 800-8004 and save like never before during System Pavers Big Change Sales event. 800-PAVE-004 or systempavers.com.
All orders must be placed by June 30th, and installation must commence within 60 days of sale. Financing subject to third-party approval. See website for full offer details. Contractor's license 661-575.
All right. You started the beginning of last year with horrible, god-awful teeth, and then you got a break because the pandemic hit, and there was wearing a face mask. And you didn't have to worry about how you look because you were wearing a face mask. Well, those days are gone, and now you're back to looking like crap. Horrible, disgusting, loose, decayed teeth. It's back we go, time to do it, to do something about it. And I'm going to suggest going to Cunning Dental for their new permanent teeth in a day procedure, and they do it while you sleep. I mean, you literally get up off the dentist chair a few hours later, and you're looking spectacular. Beautiful, new, natural teeth. Probably better than they've ever looked before. You probably never had teeth like that. Make a you get a free appointment, which includes an exam, x-ray, CT scan. That's for $1,500, and that's until June 30th. And this Saturday, day after tomorrow, there is a seminar in Montclair where you'll meet patients and see how all of this works. Call 888-640-SMILE, 888-640-SMILE, 888-640-SMILE.
Southland weather from KFI. Sunny skies with highs in the triple digits for the valleys, the IE, and the high desert. Upper 80s to low 90s for the basin and inland OC. Upper 70s to around 80 along the coast. We lead local. Live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom, I'm Layla Muhammad.
Real estate is one of the most tax-efficient investments and a great way to diversify your portfolio. But the hassles and costs of managing properties is about as much fun as having a root canal. Hi, Greg Hughes here with Hughes Private Capital, a real estate investment company. We pay our investors a set monthly income which is backed by the strength and safety of our portfolio of over 1,000 homes in the most stable real estate markets in the U.S. And the best part? You won't have any landlord frustrations or expenses. And talk about tax-efficient investment. Most of our investors don't pay taxes for the first 9 years of their investment with us. We also offer a 1031 exchange option where you can sell your investment property tax-free and become an investor with Hughes Private Capital. And with today's interest rates being so low, now's the best time to leverage your investment and earn a 17% return. To find out more, go to nolandlordproblems.com. That's nolandlordproblems.com. Or call us at 888-300-9393. That's 800-300-9393.
Termite problems? Search PacificCoastTermite.com or call 800-PACIFIC.
Live. KFI AM 640.
Local.
And I'm our radio station.
And this is KFI AM 640. Bill Handel here on a Thursday morning, June 17th. Today's going to be the worst day of the heat wave. The officials have called a flex alert starting at 5 p.m., which means use energy far more frugally. Appliances should not be used. Thermostats up to 78 degrees, the whole 9 yards. Some news about the pandemic. We have not talked to Dr. Jim Keeney in quite a while. Well, I haven't because I haven't been here, but also there's some breaking news involving the pandemic, and none of it is very good. Jim is the co-director, Dr. Jim, of the ER Mission Hospital in Mission Viejo. Morning, Jim.
Good morning, Bill. How you doing?
Good. We haven't talked for a while, and I know you texted me a few times during my convalescence. Thank you for that. And,
of course.
Yeah, no, that was very sweet. You know, how you doing, Bill? And I said, I'm doing crap. And he goes, nice to hear it. And we waited till next time, where I said, I'm still doing crap. It's been a rough one, to say the least. Now, let me ask you a couple of questions. First of all, the big one, and that is in light of virtually every state opening up, California being one of the last ones. So restrictions are off, masking is off, social distancing is off the table, and we have the new Delta variant now spreading through the U.S., and it's going to be, it looks like, the dominant strain of the virus. What the hell's going on?
Right, so, I mean, we have to address these variants because they keep popping up, and we keep getting asked this question. The bottom line is this a variant of concern, or, you know, is it something that now is worse, and we have no defense against it? And right now, this is just one that the CDC is observing as becoming predominant because it's more contagious than the other stuff. But more contagious doesn't mean it necessarily makes you more sick. It does look like maybe this one makes you a little bit more sick. And then the other question you need to know is, does the vaccine protect us against this new variant? And it does seem to protect us as well as the other variants. And so if you're vaccinated, you're still good. If you're not vaccinated, you're still at risk. There's really no change. You were at risk, before this. So the Delta variant right now doesn't really change much. What it does is it points out that we are going to continue to have this kind of flowing through. We're going to have changes in variants so that even if you think you might have gotten it before and you may have some immunity, you may be at risk for getting one of these new variants again. And so it just highlights the importance of a vaccine program to control the spread so that we don't keep circulating these variants and basically having a variant, machine that generates new variants constantly.
Now it's we've reached the point now in terms of pushing the vaccinations to those who refuse to be vaccinated simply because they refuse to be vaccinated. There's plenty of vaccine out there, and the government is now dealing simply with, for whatever reason, hesitancy, because of mistrust of government, because there hasn't been enough testing, which I'll talk about later on. And so we're looking at those percentage of people. Is this variant going to spread among the non-vaccinated to the point where they have to start sweating bullets? Or because the number of new cases are so low, it sort of doesn't matter?
Well, so for us in California, it's kind of a different than a lot of states. I mean, when we're at 60% or something like that of fully vaccinated population compared to someplace, like the southeast where it's 30%, it's a different story. So I think we're pretty well protected. When you add in the people who probably already got the virus but maybe didn't get the vaccine, we're probably above 70% vaccinated in the state. And so we're going to have, we'll be approaching a pretty decent herd immunity. So we'll see a different story in different states. The problem is then they'll point to certain states, like Tennessee, I believe it's got like a 30% vaccination rate, but they aren't seeing an outbreak right now. Well, that's like having a pile of tinder in your backyard that haven't caught on fire yet and saying, well, see, you guys are not. This isn't true that when you're not vaccinated, you're going to have the outbreaks. But it is. Overall, if you look at most of the states, the ones with high vaccination rates are not getting new outbreaks, and the ones that have low vaccination rates are. So still, again, it's just a matter of how well we're going to get people vaccinated, if you can get the vaccine. And then, for the people who can't for whatever reason or don't have a response, they're going to have to continue wearing a mask if they want to be protected, or they can take the risk.
All right, you know what? Let's take a break, come back. I want to, boy, do I have some questions for you. I'm going to run out of time, unfortunately. And we'll be right back with Dr. Jim Key, Kfi Am 640. Let's check in with Layla Muhammad in the KFI newsroom.
The Supreme Court has ruled 7-2 to dismiss a challenge to the Obama-era health care law known as Obamacare, preserving insurance coverage for millions of Americans. The justices left the entire law intact in today's ruling. Cal ISO has issued a flex alert for today from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m., urging people to set those thermostats to 78 degrees or higher and avoid using major appliances. Fashion brand Victoria's Secret says it's changing its branding to appeal to a bigger customer base, replacing its famous angel models with a more diverse group of brand ambassadors. We're checking out the 405 next.
If you are thinking of refinancing or have, I got to tell you, you got to jump on this. The Fed is meeting, and they're going to raise interest rates. Inflation has hit. Look at the prices in the grocery stores and certainly housing, etc. So rates are at their low, and since they're going to go up, and quickly, let me suggest talking to Mark Tice of HMS Capital and apply for a refi with him. But at the same time, he suggests you apply with any other lender. In other words, apply with a competitor and him. He's that confident he can get you the best deal. I've known him for 16 years. I've done 2 mortgages with Mark. No appraisal, no application fees of any kind. Call 833-255-5698. 833-255-5698. Visit hmscapital.com, hmscapital.com.
HMS Capital Funding is a DBA of Quality Empire, payment on a Federal number 2427. HMS Capital is licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act. License number 4130360. Equal housing lender.
Hey, DQ fans! The Girl Scout Thin Mints Blizzard is here. The Girl Scout cookies you love meet cool mint and world-famous soft serve, blended together in this chocolatey, minty masterpiece. Grab it today, only at your DQ. Happy tastes good.
Sunny skies, highs around 92, triple digits inland, 70s along the coast. This report brought to you by Dairy Queen. From the Southern California Toyota Dealers Traffic Center, we make it easy. A trouble spot on the 405.
It's in Westminster, or Westchester, I should say, and it's 405 north at Howard Hughes Parkway. Crash here with several vehicles. Left lane is blocked for the time being. That is a solid ride for you from the 105. KFI in the Sky is sponsored by injury attorney Superwoman, superlawyer.com. Jeff Baugh, did you make it to the 91?
Well, I sure did, boys. Some real tough driving I got to warn you about. Now, this is the westbound 91 from the 605-710. Before the 710 Cherry, 2 right lanes were blocked here. Persons hurt, fire department's here with CHP, and they're just working away. So the carpool lane, well, it's a little bit better than all the others, but those 2 left lanes in the rest of the freeway, it stops at the 605. Now, of course, it depends on your destination, but if you're going somewhere in North Long Beach, Artesia Boulevard is still good. That's just south of the 91, runs parallel with it, even at the signals. It's just looking pretty good. And another problem we were over a little while ago now, this is on the eastbound 60, approaching Industry, Rosemead. Someone lost their car to a fire, and it was a big fire for a while. They had all lanes blocked. So we had the right lanes blocked, and the backup, well, it started coming out of East LA around Garfield. East 10 was looking good. Injured in an accident, visit Superwoman, superlawyer.com. Jeff Baugh, KFI in the Sky.
Valley Village on the 101 north at Coldwater. Report of a crash in the middle traffic lane here with a couple of cars. That is a solid ride from 134. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Robin Banks.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Lowe's is your go-to for great gardening values every day. Select bagged mulches now just $2.88 a bag. Shop online and pick up in-store. Lowe's, home to the best part of summer. Selection and product availability vary by location while supplies last, U.S. only.
Get it for hugs. Get it for date nights, for live music, home games, and haircuts. Get it for eating at your favorite restaurant, for grandma's birthday, for graduation. Get it for your loved ones and the essential workers. Get it for all of us. When it's available to you, Blue Shield of California encourages you to get the COVID-19 vaccination. Get it for California.
Summer is here and it is getting hot.
Hey, you know what else is hot? The money that I'm saving with SolarMax technology.
Without upfront cost?
Yeah, that's because SolarMax does everything themselves under one roof right here in Southern California. Exceptional quality control and no middleman.
Right now, SolarMax is only $69.98 a month, which includes a solar panel system and a home battery, and an APR as low as 0.99%. This offer expires June 30th.
Dial pound 250 on your cell and say SolarMax, or go to solarmaxtech.com. Monthly payment available on approved credit. CSLB number 97203.
Are you worried about refinancing your mortgage only to find a better rate later? Introducing the No Regret Refinance from Network Capital Funding Corporation. Mortgage rates are near all-time lows, and Network Capital is now offering one of our lowest 30-year fixed rates ever. 2.375% with a 2.54% APR. With a rate this low, you'll never have to worry about refinancing again. Our unique process is fast, simple, and secure. And right now, the Network Capital 30-year fixed rate is 2.375% with a 2.54% APR. Now, today's low rates won't last, so talk to us about the No Regret Refinance today. Call the experts at Network Capital right now. Call 800-500-1-HIT. That's 800-500-1-HIT. As in home run. Call now and save big on your refi. 800-500-1-HIT. 800-500-1448. NMLS ID 11712. Not licensed in all states. Visit NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Licensed by the California Department of Financial Protection and Innovation under the Finance Law number 603D787. An equal opportunity lender. Rates subject to change and may not be available at rate lock. Discount points may apply. Subject to credit approval. Call 800-500-1448 for additional cost information.
Looking for your next investment? Want to cash out of stock market risk and volatility? Here are 8 reasons to consider NRIA's proven real estate development fund. Monthly cash flow payouts of 10% annualized and bonuses to 21% targeted. We strategically locate in lower risk, high demand areas people are moving to. New construction is short on supply. Real estate affords diversification and safety from stock market risk and volatility. We have substantial property assets selling out every month supporting your investment. Our short and long-term strategy provides for steady returns today and major upside targets. Our buildings are socially responsible, environmentally friendly, and pandemic hardened. We are an industry leader with a 15-year proven track record. Hedge against inflation and receive steady cash flow. Start your due diligence at nria.net or call 800-800-1414. That's 800-800-1414.
An offer of securities is only made by the NRIA Private Placement Memorandum. Read it first. Past performance does not guarantee future results. NRIA is a real estate development firm. Learn more at nria.net.
Hey, it's Gary Hoffman. Let's talk about your Medicare coverage. Are you new to Medicare? Scan Health Plan is here to help. With Scan, you get comprehensive coverage plus extra benefits that may surprise you, all with exceptional service you won't find anywhere else. Call Scan at 1-855-370-7226, TTY711, or ask your agent about Scan. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
I want to break free.
Ready to break free? Norwegian Cruise Line is back and sailing this summer. Kick back in the Caribbean or take in the stunning sights in Europe. And with our robust health and safety programs, you can cruise confidently. Book today and enjoy 30% off all cruises, free open bar, free airfare, and more. Visit ncl.com, call your travel advisor, or 1-888-NCL-CRUISE. Offer ends soon. Norwegian Cruise Line. Sail safe, feel free. Ships Registry, the Bahamas and USA. Restrictions apply.
Win your way to our 2021 iHeartRadio Music Festival in Las Vegas. You'll see Billie Eilish, Cheap Trick, Coldplay, Dua Lipa, Florida Georgia Line, Journey, Khalid, Lil Baby, Maroon 5, Nelly, Sam Hunt, Weezer, and more on the T-Mobile Arena stage. The next chance to win your way there is coming up, starting Wednesday, June 23rd for 48 hours only. Capital One card holders can score early pre-sale tickets to our iHeartRadio Music Festival, plus access to a VIP event with Khalid and a special guest. Visit iHeartRadio.com/Capital One for details. Supplies are limited.
I want to live forever. The aging process gets so cruel, there's no sense in eking out the last couple of years. There really isn't.
I already know that I'm not going to see my grandkids grow up to their 40 or whatever it's going to be. I already know that.
Now, while I'm here, can I enjoy these things without the scolding? This tastes good. John and Ken, weekdays at 2. This makes me happy. On KFI. We're back with the Handle Morning Crew on a Thursday morning, hot Thursday morning. Today's the worst of the heat wave. And back we go to Dr. Jim Keeney.
who is our medical expert, our go-to default medical expert. Jim, the story that I did about the Houston hospital and the nurses who refused to be vaccinated, and they, the hospital said, you're going to be terminated. And they, of course, filed a lawsuit, and the court said, yeah, you know what, to the nurses, you don't want to be vaccinated, go work someplace else. The hospital has the absolute right to force you to be vaccinated. So I always said, let me talk to Jim about this. Number one, is where you work in the ER, is there forced vaccination? In other words, do you have to be vaccinated to work there?
You know, that's a good question. I'm not 100% sure that it's required like that. We're not, as far as I'm aware, we are not firing anybody because they don't get the vaccine. Actually, I'm sure that it's not a requirement. We're asking people to get vaccinated. If you're not vaccinated, it'd probably be the same thing we do with the flu vaccine, which is, if you're not vaccinated, then during the flu season, when there's flu cases present, you're required to wear a mask from the time you enter the hospital to the time you leave. So that masking thing has been a thing for us, for years related to flu.
All right, so let me ask this. The people that refuse to be vaccinated are in the same group of people, I would assume, that refuse to wear a mask. Because no one can tell me what to do when I have my freedom. So let me throw a hypothetical at you. Let's say no mask, no vaccination, I'm an American, no one can tell me what to do. What happens? Do you have any idea? I mean, you're the...
Then they would be, they'd be fired at that point.
Okay.
It would be... Yeah, because at some point, there's some intersection between HR and legal and all of that stuff where where employers are required to take some responsibility for their employees' safety, even if the employees don't want to participate in that safety. So, on the other hand, is it a big brother thing? I don't know where it crosses that line, but in this case, if we know that they're putting themselves at risk for catching a disease while working in the hospital and then spreading it to our patients, then we're not going to allow that. And so I would imagine that person would not be allowed to work.
Do you know of any medical people that refuse the vaccine?
Yeah, I do.
And
we have every color and shape and everything just like the rest of the population, right? So we still have people that have vaccine hesitancy and concerns and all of that. Not necessarily because they've evaluated some science and say that I don't believe that study or this study. It's more of the same reasons we do it for vaccine hesitancy across the board, which is I don't trust it yet, I don't think there's enough research yet, I don't know that I even need it, that type of thing.
Let me go there for a minute and talk about one of the reasons that people give. I'm not talking about the fruitless that talk about it's part of the government, takeover. I mean, that's crazy stuff. But those people that say, you know what, it's such a short cycle from the time it's come on with the emergency use authorization to the finding out the testing, long-term, medium-term testing. What's your take on that? Is there a legitimate concern here that we just don't know enough about it in terms of long-term or even short-term?
Well, I kind of thought that might have been the case before it was launched, but then once I saw the studies, and they were pretty robust studies, then I realized that, was I 100% secure when I took the vaccine in December of last year? I wasn't, but, this was part of the deal, and if I wanted to work in this environment, it's something I needed. And I had enough proof in my mind that I felt like, okay, I'm not doing something stupid here. Since then, there's very few things in the world that we've given to this many people to be able to have that opportunity to see this many adverse reactions. And the ability, the surveillance ability, where everybody's eyes are out and looking for the problem. So to me, at this point, I may be more secure about these vaccines than any other drug. Certainly, any other drug or vaccine this early in the process. And a lot of drugs that have been out there for a while haven't been given to this many people ever. So, I think we have the numbers now. We really do have the numbers to show that this is pretty safe. And vaccines don't typically cause long-term problems. We never really see.
That's the issue, that we don't know 2 years, 3 years, 5 years down the pike that you're not going to see people come up with various side effects.